Ava, first of all, I just want to say it's amazing to meet you.
Thank you.
Welcome. And obviously your previous work includes Selma, When They See Us, and 13th, and now, of course, Origin. Very heavy and tough stories, but why is it important for you to tell these types of stories?
I don't think they're heavy and tough. I think they're stories of triumph. And you can't tell the story of triumph unless you know what you're overcoming. So at the end of When They See Us, you're in a triumphant place with these men, but you've seen what they've gone through to survive, right? To thrive. The same thing with Selma, and the same thing with Origin. So I like stories that allow you to really drill into the challenge and to overcome them. And so it's not heavy to me.
Okay, no, that's really interesting. Because I was going to say, how do you push past your emotions when you are filming, some of the more difficult moments? Because as a viewer, like me, I can turn it off and be like, not today, I'm too emotional for this today, I can't. But you have to keep pushing through it.
Yeah. Well, I'm a writer and a director, so when I write is when all my emotion comes out on the page.
Okay.
By the time I get to the set, I'm very clear. I'm like the Terminator. I'm just going, I do my job, I get it done. Because I can't be crying, because I'm the director.
Yeah.
That's not a good look.
Okay, so there are no moments that ever just creep in and you're like...
They're gonna be like, she's crying in the corner, what do we do?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
So I do all of that before I get to the set. Months and months before when I'm writing.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's such a long process as well, isn't it? So
yes.
By the time you get to the set, you're like, got my brave face.
That's right. That's right.
Fair enough. I like that. And Origin is inspired by Isabel Wilkerson's book Cast. When adapting a book, I would always want to know how much do you talk to the author and can you consult with them?
Yeah, she was very generous in giving me about 2 years of her time. So over the course of 2 years, many, many hours-long conversations where I got to ask her any question that I wanted. She was very generous, very gracious in telling me about her life, her process, teaching me about cast. So I took all of that and put it in the screenplay.
Amazing. And I think in a previous interview, you actually mentioned that Oprah was the first person to tell you to read the book.
She was. I was hoping people would forget that, but people will remember. Because this is now the second book that she's given me. I made a television series called Queen Sugar. That was 7 seasons long from a book that she'd given me. So this is the second book.
Okay.
She was right though, they're good projects. But yeah, she had chosen this as one of her Oprah Book Club selections. And she was very excited about this book. And so she encouraged me to read it. And when I did, I could see why.
Amazing. And what's her response been to seeing Origin?
I try not to speak for other people, but she's been an incredible supporter.
Amazing.
She really has, yeah.
Nice. And the film goes into detail about caste and oppression in India, the States, and of course in Nazi Germany. Did you know much about the way that they were interlinked prior to reading the book? Because, I guess a lot of people wouldn't. Absolutely not.
I knew nothing about it. That's why the book was so revelatory to me. It was such a light bulb moment because I knew none of it in the book. Really started to open my eyes to a new way of thinking about race in the world.
And how do you prepare for something like this? When there's a film and it's based on a lot of historical context, how do you even begin to do that kind of extensive research?
I don't think of it as writing a film about caste. That's too hard. I'm not that smart. I was writing a film about a woman who's writing a book. Her book's about caste.
Okay.
But it's easier for me to write a movie about a woman writing a book than for me to write a movie about caste. So it's just your perception, You can make it hard for yourself or you can find a way in, and so that was my way.
Okay, I like that. So a little bit of a switch of the mindset, a little bit of a change of perception.
That's right.
Amazing. And the main character, she goes through a lot of personal losses. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil anything, but throughout the film, when you're personally dealing with what feels like life is crumbling around you, what's your kind of strength? How do you keep strong throughout it?
Well, I just remember one thing that I was told many years ago that I hang on to, and when something is going wrong, when things are kind of crumbling around me, I just remember that this thing is happening for me, not to me.
Okay.
So whatever bad thing is happening, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you.
Is it as in to teach you something? You're going to learn a lesson throughout the other side of it. You're going to come out a bit stronger.
For some reason, it could be giving you strength, giving you new skills, giving you new vision, teaching you something that you didn't know, saving you from something. Sometimes when you don't get what you want, you stomp your feet, you wish you had it, but you don't realize perhaps it spared you from something.
Yes.
So that's why you have to, trust that everything is for your good.
Exactly, I'm a big believer in that as well.
Yes.
So you mentioned on Instagram that you wanted no billboards or big ad campaigns, all heart and care and community and love. Why is that so important to you?
I didn't say I didn't want it. I said I didn't have it.
Okay, there's a difference.
There's a difference.
Yes.
We didn't have it in the United States. It's an independent release, so it didn't have all of that. But again, you can look at the glass half empty or half full. What we did have, and what we do have, is an amazing community of support. I mean, people went all out in the States. Groups, churches, schools, busloads of people, getting the word out in ways that go far beyond commercials and that kind of thing. So it was really just a beautiful, beautiful seeing the Black community step up and support the work.
Yes, and from watching it, I absolutely understand why. It's a brilliant film and it taught me so many new things. Like I'm gonna go out and do like more history, like more research on it, because for me, this is just like the surface, you know what I mean?
Good.
Now I can go and do more research.
Good.
I know so much more now. But in Italy, actually, you received a 9-minute standing ovation at the premiere. So what's the best sort of like reception that you've had or like you've heard about the film? Maybe something that made you the most proud to hear.
I've heard so many beautiful things. We've done many screenings, and the audiences after the screenings, in the Q&As. I try not to do a Q&A where I'm the only one who talks. I like the audience to talk. So I've heard so many beautiful things, but just last night, someone said something to me that I'd never heard before that I thought was so exquisite and beautiful. It was a Black woman who came up to me and she said, "Ms. DuVernay, I really loved Origin. Thank you for all of your work." And I've heard that before, so thank you, sis. And she said, "I just want to let you know, I'm proud to share skin with you."
That's amazing. I've never heard someone say that before.
Never heard anyone say that before. It kind of knocked me out. And so I'm just proud to be a Black woman filmmaker. I'm proud to share my films with all kinds of people, but especially when other Black folk, particularly Black women, are connected to my work. It's deeply meaningful to me.
Yeah, you are very inspirational, and I'm glad to share skin with you. It's such an incredible, it's like poetic, isn't it?
It really is.
That's really great. And I also want to say, with the 9-minute standing ovation, how did you react to that in the moment? Because that's a long time. 9
minutes is longer than we've been talking. Just imagine people clapping through that whole time. It was surreal. It was beautiful. It was kind of an out-of-body experience, but I was so relieved because I was so nervous. It was the first time we'd shown the film. So to get that reaction, I just felt like, oh, good.
Thank God.
Thank God.
It's got such a great reception.
Exactly.
You're comfortable now.
That's right.
And are you often nervous before releases, or was this like maybe one of the harder ones?
No, before the first time I show a film, I'm always very nervous. Okay. Always. I think most people are. They say they're not.
They're like... Maybe.
Probably. Yes.
Fair enough. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I am really proud to share skin with you as well. I think you're very inspirational.
Thank you.
I hope everyone goes and watches Origin.
Thank you. I appreciate it.